everybody. My name's Craig.
I'm Brian.
I'm Burke.
And I'm Michelle.
And this is Get Dunked On, the podcast.
With special guest
Emily Burke.
Hi, guys.
I can't believe you did that. You're so gay. You just couldn't think of a song, could you?
No, I was going to sing No One Knows.
God. Can't get away from that song right now, which I'm not actually upset about.
No, it's
Is it
not
too
the
late
worst.
for me to back out?
She's hitting the eject button, and we're not even into
She's
a full
kicking
minute
herself
in.
out of the podcast.
Oh, she has seen it then.
She's survived 25 seconds.
Actually, speaking of survival, I was away this weekend, and Kelly, one of my the friend who was actually getting married, was telling me a story that she was reading at breakfast. And if you guys have heard of this thing that she was talking about, feel free to chime in with anything that you heard about it. But she was talking to me about a haunted house that 250,000 people are on a waiting list for.
What?
Okay? Yeah. So, and this haunted house is a literal torture chamber. Like, they go through and they have to background check like both the employees and people who go in, and like they background check the employees and they find people who are like borderline psychotic but not actually, so that they'll get enjoyment out of the torture. And then they
hire
like,
sadists is what you're saying.
Yeah, basically. And then like everyone who goes in has to pass it too. Like, so if you're pregnant, you're not allowed in. If you are allergic to bees, you're not allowed in, because there are points where they will lock you in rooms or boxes with bees. They go through and like they break your fingers, like, and you get locked up for 8 hours, like, with these people.
Wait, break your fingers.
Yes.
Like literally actually physically
So
break your fingers.
Yes.
And you pay for this.
Oh, hold on. So you have to go through.
I'm thinking there's no way that you could do that without signing a huge waiver.
Yeah, it's like a, I don't know, she said like a 10 or a 15 page contract, where it goes on and they're not responsible for it. Like, you agree that you're submitting to this. Like, I mean, there's all kinds of things they do. Like they said, they'll give you spoiled food. They'll try to intentionally food poison you. If you vomit, you have to eat it. Like, it's just this whole list of just disgusting shit.
This isn't real,
And
Michelle. They're just pulling your leg.
There's one in Nashville and there's one somewhere else too. I forget where she said it was.
Go, Craig.
But the waiting list is massive. Nobody's made it through the 8 hours at all.
Of course not.
Because it's really bad. She was saying, like, she was reading about how one of the people who tried it was like this Marine who was like, oh, I got this. And he literally has PTSD, not from his serving, but from this haunted house. And the cost to get in is like a can of dog food. Like, they just want you to donate like to something for animal shelters.
All right, hold on. We're gonna walk this back a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
First off, it can't exist, because like if it did exist, then like Guantanamo would be taking tips from these guys based on what you're saying at this point. Like, that this sounds like a torture facility.
It is, but like when you go, like when you sign up for it, like you have to, like, I literally can't attend if I wanted to, because I was really thinking about it, because I'm allergic to bees. Like, I'm literally not allowed.
You weren't thinking about going to it?
No, absolutely not. I'm just saying. Okay. If I wanted to, like, I couldn't, because I don't meet that qualification. Like, you have to be in like amazing mental shape. You have to be in pretty decent physical shape. You can't have allergies. You can't be pregnant. Like, there's so many restrictions, and like, it's just crazy because there's so many people waiting to try it, because they just think that they're going to be like, well, I'm the one who can actually do this.
It's like the lotto, but worse. Wow.
No.
I'll play the lotto, thanks.
No. At no point, no. Like, I haven't been able to take my hand off my mouth.
I know,
No.
I saw.
No, absolutely not. How about this? Is it considered arson if I go over there and set everything on fire, or is that like helping the cause at this
I
point?
don't know.
I mean,
wait a minute.
Did you sign the 15-page contract?
No, I'm not going in there. I'm just going to set everything ablaze.
We're thinking about this all wrong. back it up. If there already is a market for this thing, and clearly there is, this should be a TV show. Like remember Fear Factor? This would be way better than Fear Factor because people would be legit.
Elevator. Have you seen that one?
No, I've never seen that. What's that one about?
I've seen that
one.
It's
on Netflix. It's like a haunted house game show with these directors' sisters that try to scare the crap out of whoever comes, and if they can make it all the way through the house, they win bonuses and prizes and money and stuff.
Do they break your fingers in that show?
No, I mean, it's just scary, and it has time limits, so if you don't finish your challenges, then you don't win the money.
Still, that sounds cool, though.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's on Netflix. Check it out.
Okay.
Yeah, just still, no.
See, like the only way I could think about, like, I'm not saying I would do it. Even in this situation, I would not do it. But the sense of pride makes no sense to be like, oh, I'm the tough one to get through there. But like, no. If there was any possible way, and this still wouldn't get me there, it would have to be like, oh, you have to pay whatever $500, but it's like a running total where we eventually give out. It's like a 50-50 raffle ticket.
I'm with you.
But a horrible fucking version of that where it's like, oh, well, we've made $100,000 over the past, like, I don't know. I'm just making it up. After the past 6 months, you're going to get $50,000 for staying one night in this. You'll get half of whatever we've made on this. Or even if it's like, you'll get half of the profits or 3/4. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, that's the only possible way I could see. I could see people like thinking like it does not make sense.
Even win anything. It's literally just
a pride. Like
rights.
I can do it. I'm a badass. Like what?
Yeah, but like the people they hire are like these borderline serial killers. They're like, these are the people we think are under control, but will enjoy, cutting you. And it's awful. And I was like, when she told me 250,000 people were like waiting for this, I was just like, oh my God. And I didn't know if Craig had heard of it because it's, kind of close, but.
No, I had not heard of that particular thing, and I'm glad I hadn't.
Yeah, but we were talking about, like I said, no one has made it through the 8 hours, obviously. And one of the things that she was saying, and I'm assuming it just comes from people not actually reading, like, the huge ass contract, is that pretty much all of them that have suffered from them are, like, trying to sue the crap out of them, for the ensuing medical bills, which they're not responsible for because the contract says that, and stuff like that. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Well,
they can still sue.
They're trying, but no one's actually successfully sued either because the contract is very
airtight.
I was going to say that has to be a pretty good contract.
It's unconscionable. There's laws that protect you from being able to sign a contract that's unconscionable.
Interesting.
If no one's won on it, then I don't know what's. If no one's won on that, then like obviously the people going in don't have either A, the greatest lawyers to try and go after this, or B, they have some weird ass shit in there that really just bypasses
the governor
everything
or something. Like
that was my thought. Is I don't know the word she used, but my thought was like there's still some humanity portion of law that goes, it doesn't matter, you could sign away this, but you can't legally do it. And she just brought up there's actual words for that, but I'm still no.
Yeah.
Well, it's like
go ahead.
It's like because suicide is technically illegal, but if you actually kill yourself, what are they going to do to you?
Right.
Because you're going to be dead.
Yeah, man, I don't know. Like, I'm just thinking about this place in terms of like the waiting list, and there's got to be a market for it at that point. So why not turn it into
for the waiting list? Yeah, the NSA already has it.
Well, no, I mean think about whatever. It's I won't go into the whole thing, but the point is that somebody should be profiting off of this and making a TV show or something, because if the people are going to do it anyway. It doesn't seem
like they're profiting because, like I said, they just ask you to donate for like animals. To me, it just sounds like that the owner just must be a very wealthy person who just has nothing better to do.
It's like.
And as we discussed last week, what they should do if they're that wealthy is to purchase a baseball team and try and win championships.
Clearly.
Exactly.
The logical transition between being a sadist and owning a baseball team. Like, everybody knows they're the same thing.
Yeah, I guess the line's probably not that thick.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's pretty I invested millions of dollars and my team just pissed away the season. I'd say like that guy, that'd be the one guy who'd be like, yes. Like, he'd be all excited. Every other manager is just like, flipping a table, and he's just like, this is the greatest day of my life.
He should buy the Colorado Rapids soccer team because we're a whole bunch of losers over here.
Well, Detroit got last.
In soccer?
No, in the MLB.
Oh.
We're the worst team in the major leagues.
We don't have soccer. Yeah.
Congratulations.
But speaking of us trying to figure out how the fuck they are getting around the law on this one, that's actually what we're going to be talking about this week, is getting in trouble with the law or other governing bodies that has been above us.
Putting it another way, breaking the law.
So here's one of my major stories of me getting in trouble. And it's not really a big trouble type thing. Actually, I didn't get in trouble at all, truthfully. But it is in the sense of getting in trouble with the law. So when I was 16, I was 6 months into my 16th year. So I barely had my license, and I'm driving from my house to the high school in summer. And for those of you that are nearby and know this, my house was not far from the high school. It was like 2 or 3 miles away, maybe something like that. I don't remember now, but it was very close. There wasn't a lot of distance there. But of course, being 16 and absolutely stupid, I decided, you know what? I'm going to go down this 55 mile an hour back road at about 80 miles an hour. And of course, on the way, I ran across...
Typical 16-year-old.
Yep. And on the way, I ran across a cop. Now, I was very close to there was a hill kind of right before the entrance to the school. So we kind of crossed each other on top of the hill. I saw him start trying to turn around. And so I ducked. I went right into the school. I parked. We got out, and I was like, Mike, just act natural. My buddy was with me. So we just got our gym bags. We were going in to play basketball at the gym, and we start walking. Of course, cop's not an idiot. He pulls right up and goes, get back in the car. We're like, oh, hello, officer. We didn't see you there. Okay, we'll get back in the car. Oh. He comes up and he goes, you know why I pulled you over? I go, yeah, I think I was speeding. He goes, you think? I was like, yes, I was speeding. And so we went through the whole thing. And I was like, I'm just telling you, and all this was true. We were technically late to show up because we were supposed to be there. It wasn't like a sanctioned practice, but as probably a lot of other people have dealt with in types of sports, is they have these are optional practices. But if you don't show up, guess what? You're going to get hurt in playing time. So I was there in the middle of the summer trying to do that. I was a little late. We were trying to get there fast for that. And so I told him, I was like, hey, we're just late for basketball. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to, whatever. And I cut the conversation down quite a bit. He ends up just letting me off with a warning, right? Pretty cool for going that fast. I was going about 20 over. Fast forward 2 years when I was a senior in high school. And I was my parents were gone for the weekend or wherever they were. They're in Tennessee living or whatnot. And I was actually driving to church, and I was very late. And I was not only late, but I was making sure to pick up breakfast on the way because I didn't eat. So I was going to go in, stop at the Tim Hortons. That's right there on the way. And I was going to keep going. So I'm driving, I think about 85 down a 55 mile an hour road. Cop goes by, pulls me over, and I go, shit. A guy comes up to me, asks what's going on. I was like, if I'm being honest, and I've got my, as the term goes, I had my Sunday best on. I was like, I'm actually heading to church. I was like, this is no excuse. I'm heading to church, but I wanted to make sure to pick up breakfast before I got there because I didn't have anything at home. And so I just was literally going fast to try and get there and get in time. But it's no excuse. And he goes, I think I've pulled you over before. Like, huh? Because I think I've pulled you over before. I was like, I guess, I mean, it's possible, but I mean, it was just 2 years ago. I've only been pulled over once. He goes, yeah, you're going to basketball practice. I was like, yep.
Wow.
That was me. And he goes, okay, slow down. You're not going to get off next time. And he lets me go.
Wow.
A couple years later.
No.
Couple of years later. This is probably like 4 or 5 years later. I think
this is what happens when you live in a town with 3 cops, guys.
This is probably
3. Did they hire someone?
This is probably I don't know. This is maybe a year or two before Brian, you and I moved in together into Lansing. So my family had pretty much purely moved down to Tennessee at that point. I was at the house alone. We had an alarm system. And every morning, my mom had like 94 different flower pots that I had to go out and water, which would literally take me, I'm not joking, 3 hours to water. That's how many stupid flower pots there were. And so I went outside, I brought Maglio with me, and we're outside and I'm watering the plants. All of a sudden, 3 cop cars, all 3 of the Goodrich cop cars pull up into my driveway. I'm holding 2 watering cans. I'm in shorts and a t-shirt. I was like, hello?
Probably sweaty.
Yes, I was definitely sweating. It was middle of the summer. I was like,
when is Craig not sweating? He's sweating right now.
It's like, hey guys. They're like, sir, can you put those down? I was like, okay, there's just water in here. And I put them down. And they're like, sir, what are you doing here? They said something along those lines, asking me what I was doing. I was like, watering flowers. I live here. It's my parents' house. I mean, I don't have like a deed or a title or like a mortgage for the place, but I live here. And he goes, sir, go inside. And it's 3 guys. They all came in their separate cars. And one guy taking charge is like, sir, I need you to go inside now and get your license to prove that you live here. I was like, okay, I'm going to go inside and come right back out, and I'll have my hand on my wallet. So just to let you know that I'm not bringing out a weapon, just letting you know. So I come back in, I go out and hand the guy the license, and he's like, okay. And then he turns and he goes, I think we're good here. The guy goes, you stop speeding? The other guy behind him goes, you stop speeding yet? I go, yes, sir. And they go, all right. And then like they kind of exchanged like real quick words. And then the guy that was kind of being a dick to me turns and like smiles and goes, okay, have a nice day, sir. Like completely different personality to me. It's like, hi guys.
Oh my God.
Why did they show up? Did they call the cops on you?
I forgot to say that part. We have an alarm on our house, and I must not have turned it off that morning. And so when I left through a door I left through our basement door, which triggers the alarm no matter what if it's set. The other ones have like, the 30-second cooldown to where you can put the button in. Basement door and basement windows did not have that. Like if you open those at all, it completely set off the alarm and called the cops. It called everything.
Called all 3.
Yeah, it called everything. And so like I just went through and I was about, I don't know, 10 minutes into my watering. Maglio's wet and he's like shaking because he was jumping in the pool and whatnot. I'm just standing there with my watering can. It's like, hi. There's 3 cop cars.
You'll never take me alive.
I was like almost laughing because I was like, what the hell's happening?
Oh man. That's so funny because like, all right, so I'll tell you a quick story about the local town cops. This would have happened, many years ago. Like I would have probably just been out of high school, probably during college, to be honest with you. It was probably during college because what I was doing was I was driving from nobody knows where this is, but from Goodrich to Davison, down a major road called M15 in Michigan, and anyway, I was driving down this road going through the downtown area of Goodrich, and you know how you just like get in your own head or your own zone and you're like looking around it or whatever it is, and you just, for whatever reason, you just blank out for like a second, right? Like that's what I did.
A second. I totally don't end up at places and going, how the fuck did I get here?
Well, so,
I don't do that either.
What happened was that this is the one and only time I've ever ran a red light in my life. Was I went through the downtown area, between 2 gas stations for those guys who know, through the one light in town. Literally, we have one light in all of downtown, and I went through the red light, and I just went whoop right through. Sure enough, I look over and waiting. Like
it wasn't a like it just went cherry.
No,
it was solid,
solid red. Like, my brain just was like, you're good. And so anyway, and I look over, and sure enough, sitting there at the light, waiting to turn and left, is a cop, and I'm like, ah, crap. So here's what I knew. Okay, and this is what I had. I had just enough time if I hit the gas to go and try to get somewhere. So my first reaction wasn't to be like, well, officer, I apologize, and pull over. No, I fucking gunned it. And so what I did was that I went straight down the road for less than about a half a mile, turned a hard hard right down the road.
I know exactly where you're heading now.
Yeah, but here's the kicker. There's a subdivision in there.
Right to the right again.
And so what I did was this, though. It's a straight shot down, and most people would know it's a straight shot down, but here's the kicker. Halfway down that subdivision is a cut between. It's a think of it like the whole thing is shaped like a U. A U, but it's like
it's
a
U. Giant U.
It's a U and another U stacked on top of it, basically. So like a closed H, basically. Yeah, with across the top.
Also known as a letter A.
Like a
yeah, but it doesn't come to
A.
a point. Yes, letter A just doesn't come to a point. But the point is this: I go zip down. It's down the first turn, zip down the second turn, zip, and then I cut into that middle section and go just pull on the brakes and I stop. And I see the cop that go woo down the main road, and I see him going way fast, right? And I'm just like, and I just sit there and I wait, and then I see him go woo back the other way, and I'm like, and that's why I waited. And then I'm like, time to go on my way back to Davison, and I just continued on. And
dude, I would have sat and like pulled into someone's driveway and just sat there until they told me to come leave.
Well, that's just it. The driveway would have been too obvious. He could have seen me from a driveway on either one of the tracks. So I had to go on that one. So anyway, I hid in between the houses basically and waited till I saw him go by a few times, and then made the drive. And the car I was driving at the time was a Chrysler Sebring, a very common car. So it was one of those things. I'm just like, oh, like I'm not that same guy that you totally saw. And
the only bad thing about your vehicle was it was a what I consider a unique red. There's not as many of those red colors. I'm not saying it was like a holy crap bright fiery red everybody sees it, but the red Sebring, like that would have been, it had been like any other white 4-door car, those would blend in everywhere. Like yours stood out just a tiny bit because it was kind of that darker red color. So it would have been enough to where that's where I was like, that's why you couldn't have pulled into a driveway. Somebody would have. If you had like my white Saturn, and you could have pulled into the first driveway, and he'd be like, "I don't know.
Yeah,
that looks like every other fucking car down the street."
But that was the one time that I made a break for it from the cops.
Wow.
Disappointed that everybody's stories are about traffic breaking laws and there's not any secret killers amongst us.
They're working
I didn't tell my story yet.
No, please go ahead.
I'm not a secret killer.
Yeah, go ahead, Michelle.
And if I was, I wouldn't admit it here.
It's not a secret.
I don't believe you. You want to go to that haunted house.
So I've been pulled over 3 times, I think, and once was in our hometown as well, also near the school. I think that the cop was just being a total dick that weekend because it was like the Friday before Easter. We had a half day, and the 2 cops in town were probably fighting over a quota, so he's just like, I gotta find somebody, so he targets the school, of course.
Sure, it's an easy target.
I was leaving, and in the car that I had, my brake lights had 2 bulbs each for some reason, and one of the bulbs in one of the lights was out, and that's why he pulled me over. So he got me for that, and then there was a tiny crack across the bottom of my windshield, the very bottom of it, where it was not in your line of vision at all unless you're staring at the hood. And he added that to the ticket. And then my stepdad had switched car insurance without telling me, and so I had the wrong paperwork on me.
Oh, no.
So it was just one thing after another, and it piled on to, I don't know, a $300 ticket. And I was like, fuck me. My friend in the car is sitting there should I be an asshole to the cop? And I'm like, no, shut the fuck up. Why would you try to make this worse? But I actually ended up getting that ticket. We went in with the right paperwork. They looked at the crack and they were like, yeah, it's fine. So I didn't actually end up having to pay it. And then I got pulled over once here in New Jersey when I first moved. New Jersey has inspections on vehicle emissions, which Michigan does not.
That, yeah.
And I had brought my parents' very old van with me because that's what I moved here with, and it completely failed the inspection in just about every way possible. But they give you a sticker that gives you 30 days to get it fixed, basically. And I had that sticker on my car, and a cop pulled me over to be like, oh, is that expired? And thankfully I had the paperwork on me that showed that it wasn't. So I got off that time. And then
I'm just expecting though, like it was running to the end of that time. It literally hit the 30-day mark. Like there's a counter somewhere on the cop cars. And as soon as it hit it was like beep, 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 and then just 7 cop cars come around. There's that SWAT copter above it, spotlighting you. Be like, she doesn't have her. Well, God, what was it called? The emission sticker on there. And they got like trained 50 cal guns just sitting at you and everything.
I mean, there are a lot of cops in these towns, but they're probably just as bored as our hometown cops. So it wouldn't shock me if like that was the case. And then the third time I got pulled over, I was leaving work the day before Thanksgiving, and I had worked a 12-hour shift from 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. So I'm driving, and it's roughly like 2:30 a.m., and I guess I was swerving a little bit. And of course, being Thanksgiving Eve, they're like, ooh, drunk person, and pulled me over. And then after about 5 seconds, the cop figured out I clearly wasn't drunk, just very, very tired, and just was like, hey, just be careful and let me go.
What about
Mythbuster says driving tired is
That's
worse
true,
than driving
I've heard that.
buzzed.
It's pretty shitty.
now?
Yeah, it's scary.
The husband-wife combo has been awfully silent when it comes to this law stuff. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm a little like you guys are like, oh, I would hit the.
They're getting their
played the
story
fifth.
straight before they talk.
They're about to Bonnie and Clyde this whole thing. They're like,
You
we
know it.
did a string of bank robberies all across Texas. That's why we had to move.
We moved to
There it
Colorado
is.
for a reason.
There it is. What about you guys?
It was for the weed. I mean, shit. No. I don't know, a couple stories. I have a couple like escaping the cop
Nice.
stories, kind of like Brian's. I did that in Nashville once. I don't know if you were with me, Craig, because it was late one night. It was probably Ben or someone. But I remember like I was going down a hill, and I was just coasting. But and I have I had a big truck, and I start off going about 5 miles an hour over. At the bottom of the hill, I'd probably end up going 25 over. At that point, a cop passes me going the other way, and it's a 2-lane road. So I know he has to, go turn around somewhere. So I floor it. I just floor it. And it's night. I have a gray truck. And I know exactly how, and like I have a truck that when it was old enough, when you turn the car off or turn the lights off, it goes dark. Like, so there's no lights on, there's no anything. So I'm like, oh, I'm good. So I just take it off, and I don't know the roads that well. I just know roughly where they go. And I just end up going to a neighborhood, parking on the street, just turning all my lights off and just waiting. See a cop car go by, and I'm like, wait a little bit longer. Kind of like you did, Brian. I'm like, okay, I'm good. And just go on my business. I don't know what I was doing.
I actually do have one quick running from the cop story I forgot about.
Go for it.
I was on 75 South, and this is when we lived in Grand Blanc, Brian. So I was driving down, and I was in my little Saturn, and in the median facing my way, like ready to pull out into southbound 75 is a cop. Again, I'm going probably 85, 90. Now, for YouTube, Brian and Michelle, you guys might remember, Burke, I don't know if we ever really took this way. For me to get to, like, South Saginaw has a southbound exit where you exit on the left side.
Yes.
Which is one of the rarities for our area. And so that's where I would get off the highway to get to our apartment, which was basically right next to there. You just get there, you take a quick U-turn, and you were there. I start flying by this guy, and I see him turn his lights on, like after I'm about, I don't know, not a quarter of a mile, but I'm in front of him when he turns the lights on. I was like, oh shit. He starts pulling off. I don't slow down. This off ramp is actually decently long. And so I don't slow down. I go all the way to the end, and our buddy had just moved in to a neighborhood near there. So luckily I had just mapped out the backside of this neighborhood trying to find a quicker way in there. So I go down, and I'm going 85 down an exit ramp pretty much the whole way. And I like slam on the brakes right at the end, cause I don't want to get not failing to stop at the stop sign either. I take a quick right onto there. I take a quick left into this neighborhood. I go over, and I park sort of I go through the neighborhood and I park behind our buddy's car right in the or right in his driveway, and I just sat there. I have no idea if he even came near me or if he even came down the thing, but I sat there for like a good 30 minutes like, I'm not moving. I've been here this whole time.
Yeah, you actually like walk toward your car, like really exaggerated, like I'm about to leave, buddy.
Well, that was the bad thing is nobody was home. Like they had the car, but they had left one of the cars there, but nobody was home. I was like, I can't go inside. I want to go inside.
Oh man, what about our special guest here today? What trouble with the law have you had?
Okay, I've got to say one more story before she goes, and then we're going to tell a story that involved both of us. So as a high schooler, I also did a bunch of stupid stuff. We called this one the tape trick, and we would go to Walmart and buy duct tape, and I mean lots of duct tape, and then we would dress up in camo and face paint and ghillie suits if we had them. Like we would go all out, go to Texas. A road where there was like a stop sign, whatever. Go to where there was like a stop sign, but it wasn't that well lit, or even a signal light that wasn't that well lit, and late at night, like after 1 a.m. And we would basically be like at a T or maybe sometimes a 4-way, just depended. So we would go out and usually they had to have woods next to it or some kind of plants that we could hide in. So, and what we would do, we would take those duct tape strips and stretch them across basically the road, like each lane. And then we would stick it to the, fold the back ends down so it's sticky side up and stick it to the concrete. Well, it would get stuck on cars. And cars tires. You heard me, right?
No,
tires,
the
cars.
tire is the main part of the car. The rest of it's just auxiliary.
Yep.
yes. It's the part that touched the road. It's the part that matters. And needless to say, when you did that, it sounds like you get a flat tire because it's. Needless to say, we did this a lot and in many different locations.
Oh my
god! All over the place.
You're kidding me.
I mean, I did this probably up until I was like well into my 20s just because it was fun. So anyways.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So yeah. So we would do that. Well, we one time got a little bit more adventurous, and it was post 9/11 obviously, and there was a bunch of like terrorist scares going on. So this one time we got bored doing the tape stuff, and one of the guys took off his shirt and tied it around his head so it looked like a turban.
No.
And pretended to be dragging one of my other buddies into the woods when cars would pass.
Are you fucking kidding me? That didn't happen.
So really,
God.
Oh yes, it did. Just really bad ideas. And needless to say, the cops got called that night. And I was like, guys, we need to go now. We need to go. Like I could just tell. Like I had this feeling we need to go. We were leaving. The cops came. And the cops were like, well, they came up and me, I'm like, nope, fuck this. I'm hiding in the woods. So cop pulls up. I get, remember we're in camo. Like I'm belly crawling into the woods through mud and water. I'm like, nope, fuck this.
Metal Gear Solid music playing.
Oh, and like everyone else is out there talking to the cops. I'm like under the cars, crawling away, going, yeah, no, this is not happening. Needless to say, the cop lets us go, but still,
wow.
After that, we went out and did this again. But like, Craig's
literally on the floor.
ROFL.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, that's just and mind you, Craig would be dying because it was always in Houston. It was always hot and sweaty. So you were always sweating your ass off. But it was a lot of fun.
I don't even know how to take that story. There was so many layers in like, what the hell?
A duct tape onion.
Yeah. So there you go.
It started off as like innocent childhood,
and I don't know why the X-Men theme is playing in my head. The cartoon one. He's crawling away like.
Oh yeah.
Hey.
The blue shit.
So
yeah, anyways.
what trouble have you two been up to then?
So we were, I guess it was, yet again, probably a little bit more me, but
It's always John. I'm just along for the ride.
That's fair.
she was
You're just the
literally along
accessory.
for the ride. Yeah. Yeah. So we were going to my grandparents' house because we were going to get some dinner, and there was a road that was a stoplight, a 4-way stoplight, and there was 3 lanes. One turned left, one went straight, and one turned right, and it had turn only. Well, as soon as you cross this intersection, I immediately have to get over in the right lane because there's this like the first street, and it's, I don't know, maybe like 50 yards past the intersection. So you have to get over real fast, right? So I go through and I wait like 2 signals, and it's because it's rush hour. And so I get through the light, I'm crossing over the intersection and put on my blinker and start to get over. This car comes flying over the intersection, almost gets some air because of the I guess the hump in the intersection, and just almost barrels into me.
Oh my god.
Because he went through the right turn only lane. Okay.
So technically, if you continue through the intersection, there is a place for you to go through, but you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
So it's not like he like went on the side of the road or anything.
Yeah. Yeah. So almost hits me. I lay on my horn, as any person would. And, but I still get over, and the guy just slams on his brakes. Pisses, just is infuriated that I had the audacity to honk at him in my little 240 SX, which I don't know if you've ever heard the horn of that car. It's the manliest horn you could ever get in a car. Yeah, pretty much. And so he stops, and I'm talking just the best white trash guy you've ever seen. Gets out of the car, wife beater and everything.
Nice.
And I go, well, this is going to end well. So, and I come up and I have to slam on my brakes to not hit the guy. So I'm right on his bumper. Well, I back up so I can get around him, get around his car, because this guy is coming at me. And, it's Texas. We all have guns, right? I just know that. So I pop mine open, and I have mine in my hand, watching this guy, and I have it hidden so he can't see it. And then I have my hand on my, because I don't want to use it. I'm just, this is nope, this is not happening. So I reverse enough to where I can get away. I have a little sports car, so I rev the engine, and he's trying to get on, knock it on my window, what the fuck are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And I roll down the window. I go, can you not read? Just infuriates him even more.
Yeah.
And at that point, he winds up, he's gonna hit my car. And at that point, I rev the engine, throw it into drive, and just skid around his car and get away.
Sure.
Right. Well, turns out he has buddies.
Oh,
they start chasing me. But granted, it's a neighborhood I grew up in. I know it. So I go around, and I lose the guys. I park in some. I do some tricky shit. I take the same route twice as they're following me, and then do the same, do something. I take the same route a third time, but then fake them out and do something else because they thought they could cut me off. And turns out there was a cop sitting there,
watching
in a cul-de-sac. No, not watching the whole thing, but there was just a cop sitting there in a cul-de-sac, and I pulled up next to him. I go, "Here you go, sir. Here you go, officer. Here's the story." And he goes, "Do you happen to know the license plate or anything?" And I go, "No, but it's that truck was one chasing me." And he goes, takes off.
Nailed it.
Yeah. So yeah, needless to say, I know I wasn't breaking the law, but that's probably a story of us together doing it was intense.
Emily was in the passenger seat praying because we had only been engaged for a month at that point. And then we ended up after this was all over, we go back to John's parents' house.
Yeah.
And he's so pissed off he can't even go inside for dinner or whatever.
Yeah.
Or I guess he had so much adrenaline going or whatever. He just felt sick. And so then I'm I don't even really know your family, and I have to explain what's going on.
Yeah, it was intense. And needless to say, I called the cops again and had them come over to my house.
Yeah, because we wanted to make sure that they didn't think we would get charged with a hit and run or something like that.
Even though I didn't hit the guy. And the guy comes over, looks at my car, and goes, "You want to sell it?" And I was like, "No." All right, Em. So you have to have a story here.
Okay, well, I have one that I was a senior in high school, just before I went to my freshman year of college. I was hanging out with a whole bunch of people. We had just moved to Baton Rouge, and if you know anything about that area, LSU Tigers is the thing that people worship in Louisiana.
It's life.
Yeah, that's basically anyone that lives south of Monroe, Louisiana, is like, that's their entire life is the LSU.
Well, that and crawfish.
Yeah.
And
And alcohol.
There you go.
And Jesus on Easter and Christmas. But so what we ended up doing is just when I wasn't going to school there, but just when football season started, I was hanging out with some people, and this girl was like, "Oh, I can't go to the LSU game today. Do you want to take my student ID and you can take my ticket and you can go sit in the student section?" And I was like, well, I don't really look like you. But she's like, well, we both have blonde hair, so I don't think they're not going to look anyway. It's not going to be a big deal. Don't worry about it. So we go all the way across the campus because you're walking basically from the student center, kind of, I don't know, like a mile away from the stadium. So we walk all the way across. Everybody's all chill. We're doing whatever. We get up there. Everybody else in the group gets through the line. No problems. For some stupid reason, I guess I have a guilty conscience or something. So I looked guilty when I was trying to go through. So he looks at my picture and then he looks at me and he goes, "I don't think this is you." And I was like, "No, it's me. My name's Aaron." And he goes, "Okay, Aaron, I need you to go step over there." And so I went and stepped to the side or whatever. The rest of my team goes, or the rest of my friends went inside or whatever, and just like left me there. He goes, "Okay, they have two options. You can leave, or I can arrest you." I was like, "It's a freaking LSU ID. I'm trying to get into the student section. What in the world?" He's like, "Well, you should have paid the $10 to upgrade your ticket like everybody else." I'm like, okay, so I walked all the way back to the student center all by myself because all my other asshole friends stayed inside the stadium.
Well, they had to see the ball game.
Yeah, so then I'm not sure exactly if my friend got in trouble or not, but like they took her ID from me and everything, and she had to like go pick it up later from the dean's office and stuff.
Oh my god, that's so dumb.
Yeah, you don't mess with the Tigers.
I too also have a story about friends dicking over other friends because of the law. So this is a pretty quick one. We were 16 something, like pretty much. I think I was the first one to get my license, and we're driving. We go to the movie theater and we get tickets to a movie that we are not of age to buy on our own. Luckily, they had just come out with this newfangled technology called the credit card machine, where you just go up to it and they've got the kiosk and you just buy your own tickets with a credit card and you move on. Well, I was lucky enough to have a credit card in case of emergencies, and I was pretty liberal about what an emergency was. And so I went through and swiped it and, collected the money afterwards from all my friends, and we went to the movie. And it was like a scary movie or something, but it was rated R. And we go there, and about, 15 minutes into the movie, 2 cops come in, and there's 5 of us. There's me, our friend that lives in that house, our friend Brett. I'll just say the first name. Our friend Brett, and there's 3 girls with us, and we're in there. And there's 2 cops. Like, it's not security guards; they were cops. They come up and they go, "Can we see your tickets, please?" We're like, okay. So we showed the tickets and they're like, "Okay, can we see your IDs, please?" And so they sit there and get the IDs of the 3 people to my left. I'm like, "We need you guys to all leave." Me and one of the girls there were just like, they didn't ask us a single thing.
Oh my god.
We ended up sitting through the rest of the movie while their friends sat outside.
No.
Yes.
Oh, it was terrible. It was terrible. It's one of those ones that I cringe about thinking about now. Like, how big of an asshole. But it was like, I was so scared to get in trouble. I didn't know what they were getting in trouble. All they did was they just were like, "You can't be in here. You got to go." They just got him out of the theater. But I'm sitting there thinking like, oh, they're going to be prosecute him to the fullest extent of the law. And I was the one that bought the tickets for all these people. So I was majorly, so I just sat there like,
Law and Order movie edition.
I thought you were going to say the cops came in because somebody reported the credit card stolen. Somebody had used it to buy 5 tickets to a movie.
Yeah, I was thinking like your dad had an eye on it or something. And was like, "Oh, this shouldn't have been used at a theater."
My God, get in there, cops, bust him.
No, like 2 cops came in and pulled out 3 16-year-old people from a movie. I guess Brett was probably like 13 at that point, but whatever.
I know we're running late on times, but I really wanted to share this one. Craig, just make sure I didn't say this one already. Did I ever tell the story about when I got pulled over for doing 1 mile and over the speed limit?
I haven't heard the story.
No, you were in the car.
I was.
What? He still hasn't heard the story.
I haven't heard the story. I was drunk, clearly.
So
Good thing you were the designated driver.
So it was when him and I were living in Lansing. We had gone to a store and I had bought a TV. Right?
Sorry, that's not the takeaway from that story for me.
It's not. No, it's not. I didn't want to spoil. The point is, we had gone to, was it Target or something like that, and I had bought a new TV. But the problem was that the car that I had and have is a 2-seater, and it's like a hatchback thing, and so like the seating in it is not really like great for hauling things, but we managed to like scoot our seats forward and everything else, and we got this big TV loaded up. We're feeling really good. The new apartment's gonna have this nice new TV that we're gonna be able to watch TV on, play games, whatever. All excited driving home. Literally driving 1 mile and over the speed limit, lights come on behind me, and I'm like, like him and I were just sitting along to the radio or whatever it was at the time. So we didn't even notice the lights at first. And then we're like, that's kind of weird. Why are there lights on? And I'm looking at my speedometer. I'm literally going 1 mile and over the speed limit. He can't be pulling me over. No, sure as hell. He was definitely pulling me over, pulls me over. And it begins to, is like license registration, starts giving like the riot act. And I'm like, what the hell? Like for 1 mile an hour over. And so I'm getting really nervous at this point. I'm thinking for sure I'm getting a ticket because this guy's just a dick, right? Well, little did he know that I had an ace in the hole. And the ace in the hole was Craig. So when I gave the explanation of what had happened, as to where we were coming from, where we were going, I go, well, we just got our first place together, and I just purchased this TV, and we're really excited to set it up. I had come from work where I was dressed to the nine in like preppy little like actual button down shirt and pants and like fancy belt.
And for the first time, and I don't even know why, I had like a nice shirt on. I put on like
a polo or something.
No, it was a button up. It was a button up.
That's right.
A button up light purple shirt. Mm-hmm. And I just was like, hey, whatever, Brian's looking nice while we're going out. I'm going to match him while we kind of go out. I mean, so I didn't go the full 9, but I just went through and just had a nice button-up purple shirt. I had nice jeans on, and we went about our day.
And so he's sitting there, he goes, so you guys are, you're placed together? Like he starts like literally stammering at this point. And he starts like in his head, he's drawn all these connections and lines. And I'm like, my God, I'm going with this. Yeah, well, we're really excited about it. And like next thing you know, he's like, oh shit, I'm gonna get hit with this whole like discrimination. Like, oh God, you two have a great day. Have a great day. And he sends us on our way.
Oh my God!
Because he thought that Craig and I were together.
You were a new
Did you grab Brian's
couple.
hand?
Oh no, I wish I would have at the time.
I would have held his hand all day for
Brian
to go.
picked up on it before I did. Brian picked up on it before I did. I didn't pick up on anything. I was just sitting there like, you serious? We're getting pulled over? Because Brian asked like, so what's like one of those things like,
I was confused.
Is my light out? Like, is one of my back lights out or something? He's like, no, you were going over the speed limit. He goes, wasn't I going like 45? He goes, you were going 46. What? And so I was more confused. Like, what the fuck are you getting pulled over for 46? You go down.
Where were you going in such a hurry? It's like, well, we just got to our place, and it's it was great. Oh yeah. So if you're ever in getting pulled over, here's the lesson of the podcast: make them feel awkward. You might get out. So there you go.
All right,
there's a little
guys.
trivia for you.
That's. I've got so many other stories, but we don't have time.
We might have to do a part 2.
Dude, this, yeah. Oh no. Okay.
I'm gonna have to go get in trouble, so I have more stories.
Next week, we see a news clipping of a woman in camo crawling away from a scene of a crime. And she was putting duct tape on the lines, Bob.
But she was also hopped up on Red Bull because she went to prison to visit a Red Bull guy to get other ideas.
Got her fixed. There you go. There you go.
Oh my God. Well, anyways, so Emily's going to do the quiz tonight.
Oh boy, here we go.
So Emily, that's because she does work I guess, somewhat in the law. We're going to get law quizzed, I guess, or something. We're going to have to know our law terms and, all those Supreme Court cases.
Oh, you guys are in so much trouble. As a kid, I for 3 months I went to the Future Lawyers of America thing.
That won't help you with this quiz. This is a quiz of weird laws.
Good.
All right. So it's going to be Craig, Brian, Burke, and Michelle.
Okay, so I think it's more fun if you just guess what the answer is, but if any of you think that the question's just too ridiculous and you need some multiple choice, I have those available. So I guess we'll kind of get to that on a case-by-case basis.
Oh, no, it's going to be guess. It's going to be guess. There's no multiple choice.
I chose some of them on purpose because I wanted to know what your dirty minds would say.
Ooh.
Yay.
Okay, so question number 1. According to law, a U.S. citizen can claim ownership of any foreign uninhabited island as long as it contains what?
Just rephrase, or not rephrase, just repeat that one more time, please.
According to law, a U.S. citizen can claim ownership of any foreign uninhabited island as long as it contains what? So if this thing is on the uninhabited foreign island, you can claim citizenship.
Okay.
Exactly 1.5 rocks.
Okay.
Is it my up next?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Okay, making sure. I want to say drinking water, some sort of fresh water source on the island.
Okay. Next.
American flag!
Yeah!
Just like the moon, baby!
Yeah,
Just
my
like
answer
the
was
moon!
literally going to be American flag holder. Like, I had to have somewhere to put the flag.
I should have said that, damn it.
That's what I was waiting for. That's why I was laughing.
Is that her answer?
Sorry.
Yes, that's my answer.
Okay, so none of you got it. The
Big
answer
shock.
is actually bird droppings.
Bird droppings.
Yes, and it is called the Territories and Insular Possessions Law, Chapter 8, Guano Islands, Guano Districts claimed by the United States.
Fantastic.
Wow.
Nice.
Okay. Number 2. In Hawaii, it is illegal to put what in your ear?
An entire pineapple.
Coconut shavings.
What is a penis?
So close.
I'm going to say a lay.
The answer is actually pennies, which is very easy to misspell as penis. Because when I was typing this quiz, I accidentally put penis the first time.
You can't put pennies in your ears?
Nope, it's illegal.
But
only in Hawaii.
But dimes, nickels, quarters?
Yeah.
Dollar
I
bills.
want to know the precedent for that one.
So
I don't have the precedent. for
a
all
little
of them.
kid got so upset that his pennies were coming out of his ears.
Doctors probably got tired of pulling them out. Of people's
Maybe.
ears at the.
Maybe.
Okay, number 3. This will come in handy if you go to the United Kingdom. In the UK, what are you not allowed to do within 300 yards of a dwelling?
What are you not allowed to do?
I'm assuming dwelling is just like a
a
home
house
of some form.
that people live
just
in.
wanted to make sure it wasn't just any
I'll
type
try
of
to
building.
use smaller words for you, Craig.
No, I wanted to make sure dwelling. Didn't mean like anybody that might stay there. So it could be a church would be a
A
dwelling.
dwelling house.
Okay. I'm gonna go with they can't play the cartoon Transformers theme.
I was going to say they can't play soccer, or at least they call it football there. But so whatever, they can't play football within 300 of a house. That's my guess.
Oh, it's my turn. Sorry. I'm going to guess with playing the Beatles on a boombox.
I'm going to say pull out a weapon.
I'm going to say
He's the
plant an American
closest.
flag. Yeah! They're pissed about that still.
Michelle's the closest because it was actually a weapon. You cannot fire a cannon within 300 yards of a dwelling in the UK.
Well, I might as well refund my tickets to the UK then.
I'm just in my head, like you go to England and it's literally just exactly like how they were in the Revolutionary War. They're still wearing the same red coats and shit. Like everybody dresses like that still.
So, Michelle, let's see how well you know New Jersey, because this one's about New Jersey. What totally impractical motor vehicle law still appears on the books in the state of New Jersey? It has to do with cars.
You are not allowed to hitch your bike or other type of two-wheeled vehicle, or not vehicle, but riding system to the back of a car.
You're not allowed to play music while driving in New Jersey because they don't believe in fun.
Because they don't believe in fun.
It's like the town of Footloose is the whole state of New Jersey.
Yes. Exactly. Kevin Bacon needs to go to Jersey.
Oh, Jesus. I lost whatever I had with that one, Brian. I've just got, you cannot do a flip on a... No, that's not right. Let's see here. You can't drive backwards on a road.
I unfortunately know what it is.
You can't go anywhere that's not the gym, the tanning booth, or the laundromat.
I was actually, if it's all right, you can't. Isn't New Jersey? You can't pump your own gas still.
I don't know. That might
That's
also
also
be
New
true.
York, though.
But this
That
totally
is true.
impractical law is a motor vehicle being operated after dark must be preceded by someone carrying a lantern.
I'm not going to lie. If we all had a lantern guy, that would be incredible.
Going anywhere fast? Not tonight.
Michelle, take a video next time you're in a car in New Jersey.
Sure.
I have to
I'll be
see
like,
this.
here's my lack of lantern guy who's
You've got a
about
guy
to
who's
arrest
just
me.
duct taped to the front of your vehicle holding out a lantern.
And then I get pulled over because
Will it
it
be a
looks
green
weird. And then I'm
lantern?
like, no, it's the law. Look it up.
Well, yeah, no, you just take a real person and strap him to the hood of your car.
I got some
Have
duct
him
tape.
the lantern. It's going 60 on the going. Great jobs.
Question number 5. What item of clothing are you not allowed to wear if you visit the Houses of Parliament?
A Speedo.
If you visit the Houses of Parliament, you're not allowed to have like shorts and flip flops.
A skirt.
I'm going to say sneakers.
A suit of armor.
Ah, of course, for all those night attacks we used to have.
We need to get that across the country. You're not allowed to go into this church with a suit of armor.
Number 6. In Singapore, it is illegal to do what in an elevator?
Masturbate.
It is illegal to enjoy the music played overhead.
Defecate.
I don't know if it's illegal in an elevator. I know it's illegal in the city. I'm going to say chew gum.
I almost got that question. You would have got that one, but John got the closest. It's you cannot pee in an elevator.
I feel like mine's probably illegal too.
Mine
might
is
be.
very
I
close.
should have went even further. You can't murder someone in an elevator.
You can in Singapore, but you can't pee.
And then the guy who you kill is going to get arrested because he peed in the elevator. Because
elevators are just a demilitarized zone.
you walk in and they just play the Hunger Games thing. As soon as you walk into the elevator, it's like, oh shit.
Number 7. In Switzerland, it is illegal to do what after 10 p.m. if you live in an apartment?
I'm going to go with have sex against the wall.
I'm going to say activate Valkyrie and heal your teammates.
what is play Rock Band?
I'm going to say eat ice cream.
You cannot flush the toilet after 10 p.m.
What?
Dude, that would
Wow.
be so bad. Late night dumps are just out of the question at that point.
I was like, oh, where do you want to go to dinner tonight? Do you want to go to this New Mexican place? Ooh, better not. I don't want to get
Only
another
for
ticket.
lunch.
It's only if you live in an apartment. If you have a house, you can shit whenever you want.
Wait.
Wow.
What about a garbage disposal? Can you run that after 10 p.m.? Because I may have just found a loop for taking a dump.
I mean, yes, sure, why not?
There's a lot of questions here and
You
not a
can
lot of
also
good
murder
answers.
people in the elevator after 10 p.m. Okay. Number 8. In which state of the United States is it legal to hang someone for killing a dog on your property?
All 50 as it should be.
There's a specific state.
I'm gonna
Damn
go
it.
with
Wyoming.
a real shocker here, California, for sure.
I'm going to say Texas.
And
Hey, it
Burke's not
wasn't
gonna
my
guess.
Burke?
Texas was my answer.
The answer is Nevada.
Ah,
Of course.
Nevada's
Right
got
next to
something right.
California. That's the reason I was confused.
Also, it is illegal to shoot a camel in Nevada, in case you run across one.
Damn it.
Number 9. In Fairbanks, Alaska, it is illegal to feed what to a moose?
Human flesh.
Damn it! I was gonna say people.
I was gonna say baby.
Soylent Green.
And I was thinking corn. Like you guys are like, feed people to a moose. I'm like, what? Maybe it's bad to give them corn.
Hey, you remember where we started this podcast off? The torture house? You know, it's true. Yes. I'm gonna go with what is berries?
Alcoholic beverages. You guys don't want multiple choice?
No, we're
This
killing
is so
it.
much more fun.
Yeah, we are killing this.
care
I
how
mean,
much-
what happens if all of you have 0? How many
That's
tiebreaker
okay.
But it's
questions
a 4-way
do we
tie for
ask?
first, and thus I win by default. We've already established that.
Participation award.
Well, 3 of you might get this one because it's about Michigan.
Doubt it.
What are men unallowed to do in front of women and children in Michigan?
I think I know this one.
I'll say spit.
Like at all?
It's not really that bad, so don't say
Yeah.
murder people. Or
Still illegal in front of women and
He's
children.
like, I got it. Eat babies.
Let's do with chew tobacco.
I'm going to say smoke.
It is swearing. They're not allowed to swear in front of women and children.
Craig is correct. It is swearing.
Wait, what?
Swearing, cursing, or cussing.
You
are
can't do that in Michigan?
not in front of
Not in
women or
front of
children
women and
legally.
children.
Oh, but wait, just if as long as there's no women and children, you like if there's just a kid, you can look at the kid and go, well, fuck,
Women
or just a
and
woman. You can just be like, ah, shit. If
They're like
both
7,
together-
5-year-olds. You're like, fuck you, you little shitball.
But then the minute a woman walks in, you're like, damn,
And the mom comes around the corner. Oh shit, mom, get out of here! You start running. Burke's army crawling away again.
SWAT team busting through the window. Did I hear you say swear? No, I said damn. That doesn't count.
So, just in case you wanted to know, there can't be any female listeners of your podcast in Michigan.
Well, there can be as long as you don't have kids.
Number 11. What animal is it illegal to wrestle with in Alabama?
Kangaroo.
It's illegal to wrestle alligator.
Pig.
I was also going to say pig. Damn it. Yeah, I'm still going with pig.
Bear.
Of course.
Man, bear, pig.
Goddamn sea
was
bears.
Sea bears.
Number 12. I don't know what you just said.
Sorry, you said sea bears.
Sea bears.
I'm sorry.
Number 12. In what state of the United States was it illegal until 1969 to speak the English language?
Illegal?
Illegal to speak the English language.
Gotta
This
be
one
somewhere
I-
in the
I
South
can't
because they still
explain
don't
this
speak
one.
the English language, I'm pretty sure.
So it's
I
fucking
got
Yankees.
this one. I got this one.
Let's go with I'm gonna go with Hawaii.
The obvious answer, New Mexico. Think about it.
I know this.
My answer is also Hawaii.
Alaska. It's not Alaska. I thought it was.
The answer is Illinois. Because
What?
the legal way to speak in Illinois used to be American. They repealed that
God
law in
damn it.
1969 and made it English.
And you thought it was the South. Fuck you.
I
you
didn't.
Yankee
I
little
thought it was
shits.
New
I speak
Mexico.
American.
God damn it.
Barack Obama's state.
I thought that it was named after Mexico.
Number 13. The Encyclopedia Britannica is banned in Texas because it contains instructions on how to make what?
Sense.
Fuck you.
I was gonna say meth.
I'm gonna go with moonshine.
I'm going to say a gun silencer.
Cake. I don't know.
I'm not sure if we can give John a point because he said moonshine, but the answer is actually beer.
That's close
Kind of
enough,
close
I don't
enough,
care.
though.
I think it for me, if that was on if we were playing what's the thing with Steve Harvey? Family Feud.
Yeah, I
Family
think,
Feud.
I
Yeah,
think
that
the
would've
judges
counted
would
on the
say
board.
that was okay.
Yeah, I would have flipped over and said alcohol.
So,
Yeah.
so now we have a two-way tie.
One.
At a total of one.
Greg and Burke won. Okay. Number 14. In Tennessee, what is the only type of game you're allowed to shoot from a moving vehicle?
Call of Duty.
What is live game? Oh, sorry.
Only type of game that you're allowed to shoot from a moving vehicle?
In Tennessee.
My guess is mine's going to be pig or boar.
Don't try too hard because you won't get it.
Deer.
What is a human?
Damn it, Burke. I was also gonna say people.
No, Michelle's like babies. Like, you guys are dark.
Yeah, my answer is people.
Okay, answer is a whale. You're allowed to shoot a whale in Tennessee from your moving vehicle. Probably
What
because
whales
it's
are there
impossible.
in Tennessee?
Have some fun.
Yep. I actually want to see a YouTube video of this now. Like, it's in the law.
He's gonna be like driving past the aquarium or whatever.
No. They set the whales out on like on a downhill slope on a bunch of skateboards, and they just push it, and then it's like going down the hill. And they drive up next to it with a truck. Everybody knows it. It's
Rolling around at the
And the last question before the tiebreaker, hopefully. In which state is it illegal to give or receive a tattoo unless by someone with a medical license?
Georgia.
Maine. I don't know.
Let's go with Alabama.
I'm gonna say Florida.
Wisconsin.
Oh, of course.
Fucking cheeseheads.
So
That's all I know about Wisconsin too.
for the tiebreaker, I'm going to ask you a numbers question, and whoever gets closest to it wins. How's that?
Fair enough.
Okay, so
I'm
this
in.
is for Craig and Burke, but I'll let the other two answer too if they want to. So, as Michelle pointed out earlier, it is illegal to spit gum out in Singapore. If you do it, how much American dollars will you be fined?
I'm going to go with $11.
1,100 is what you just said?
You said 11? Yeah, I'm gonna go with 10. No, 10.
Oh, 10. Okay, so 11 and 10.
I'm gonna go with 35 cents.
I'm
35
gonna say
cents.
50,000.
I guess Craig's technically closest because it's 600.
Wow.
It's called
Wow.
extortion
Wow.
right there.
The winner at 2 points.
In
winner-
Singapore, you actually have to have a doctor's prescription to get chewing gum. It's illegal otherwise.
Really?
They had such an issue with people spitting it on the sidewalk and polluting everything.
It's just
Yeah.
like Disney
Wow.
World.
That was one of the weird laws that I actually knew.
It's like Disney World all over again. And we learned that. They're not allowed to have gum there either.
Congratulations, Craig, you won!
I won.
Yay!
I thought I was going to lose that one so hard.
Hey, and thank you for announcing the winner as in who won, and not like second, first runner up or anything like that. I really
That's because
appreciated
we
that
already
this
knew
week.
it was me. So we didn't have to. That's the only reason.
Look, don't take this away from me.
You bad. Just did. Fuck you, Brian.
No, that was no, really though. That's actually pretty fascinating. A lot of those laws, I like that.
That was a great quiz, Emily. That was a
Yeah.
great quiz.
Yes, it was the lowest scoring quiz we've ever had, but it was a lot of fun.
It was great, though.
It's fun
Absolutely.
to see
Got
where
more
your
points,
minds
but-
go when they're left open.
Well, that's exactly why I didn't want the multiple choice. I didn't want us to be like, oh, it's one of these. I wanted just everybody to spit something out. That's a lot more fun.
No, but I did also enjoy the fact that almost everybody here had a story about how they got away with something. Like most of our law stories didn't involve like, well, I did this and got in trouble. It was like, here's how I broke the law.
Because criminals are stupid. Get caught.
That's just it. It's like, and only the good criminals get away with it, and that's why this week law enforcement got dunked down.